this Sunday we have some readings from the Wisdom of Solomon and from the Gospels that talk about Christ visiting us and appearing before us and our response and following Christ's example. And the collect of the day, the prayer that starts off the service, also has that idea of having us hold on to things that are eternal rather than being so caught up in things that are temporal or that are passing away. And so the prayers and the hymns and the whole service really revolves around this call and response, Christ calling to us and our response in following. And so you'll see that theme come again and again. In the sequence hymn, the hymn that goes between the reading and the gospel, we will sing Lord of all hopefulness, Lord of all joy, with that beautiful Irish tune, Slain. And it talks about following Christ through the course of a day, from the beginning in verse 1 to the noontime of verse 2, to the eve, and then finally to the end of the day. At the offertory, the choir will be singing something that's much more about Christ's call to us. And it's an anthem with text that is drawn from the Eucharistic prayer of Common Worship, which is the updated Book of Common Prayer for the Church of England. And in this short little fragment from the Eucharistic prayer, we see this really beautiful, comforting thought. When we were still far off, you met us in your Son and brought us home and opened the gate of glory. This setting is by George Arthur, which is the pen name of George Richford, who is the organist and choir master at an abbey in the Winchester district of England. And he wrote this actually for an event that Unjan and I were both very fortunate to be able to attend, a conference. And so we heard this sung for the first time by his choir at Romsey Abbey. It's a really beautiful and loving setting of these words. Very rich and yet very sonorous and comforting. And this is a piece that we've loved since the first time we got to hear it, as I say, at that premiere performance. And it's a piece that our choir took with us to Bristol, England 2 years ago. It's become one of our favorites. At the communion, we'll really shift towards thinking about following Christ and being on pilgrimage. And so the choir will be singing an anthem that has the words, the very familiar words of St. Richard of Chichester. O most merciful Redeemer, friend and brother, may I see thee more clearly, love thee more dearly, and follow thee more nearly. These very, very common words day by day. And this setting is by the contemporary British composer Malcolm Archer, and it has a really gracious melody that goes with these words. And that's actually a piece that was put into the library in honor of our own Betty Bacon in thanksgiving for the gifts that she gave to St. John's in her ministry to the choir for many years. So again, thinking about that idea of following Christ and what an example the Bacons have been to all of us and how we can think about them as an example for us to follow as well. So we have a lot of really wonderful music and a lot of ways to think about Christ's call and our response as we follow. We invite you to follow Christ's way with us here at St. John's, either on cable or our YouTube channel or here downtown.